Welcome back to Let's Talk About That. Angela, what are we talking about?
Well, today we are going to talk about something we've built several times. Learning management system, software. I almost said the wrong word. Or LMS. But nobody knows what that is probably but you and I. So can you explain what LMS is?
Well, LMSs are basically just training platforms for training your staff or people. There's a lot of online learning, LinkedIn learning. That's kind of an LMS in a way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So what can you offer in an LMS?
Well, typically you're going to be having some kind of, whether it's video-based training or you're providing instructional guidance on whatever you're covering. So sometimes it's safety. One that we're doing is US Diabetes Care. We're doing diabetics education, which is amazing. So we've developed whole courses for diabetics to change their lives.
Right.
So it just depends on what you're looking to be able to do, but it's really just a platform that helps manage it and manages the progress and what has been completed on the platform. So
there's different parts to this platform. Mm-hmm. And it's different depending on any of the things we've built. So for example, let's use US Diabetes Care. We've built apps where the diabetic can watch the education.
Right.
But then that feeds into a management portal where that diabetic was added to the platform and got access, and where you can see the progress of the things they have watched, and it goes on from there. And then with this particular one, we even have another level.
Yeah.
Management, which is a whole different thing, even an upper level management.
More like an administration side
right,
of it. Right,
because there's insurance billing and things that go with this. But we can build it to whatever needs there may be.
Right. So it's like, let's say you have a health and wellness program or something, and you wanted to give your companies the control of like what modules they wanted employees to be able to have and be able to monitor the progress. You could give that to them, handle the onboarding so they can onboard their own employees. They could do that. But then on a higher level, the wellness company can see across the whole program. So every company that they're working with, and be able to see the impact of like the behaviors of what certain participants, if they're watching them, like look at which the most popular, say courses are or content is actually, and be able to gather like survey results and data to help them understand, what areas they need to train on. We did another project similar. I can't really talk about who the customer is, but we did a lot of safety training where delivering something like that is something very important versus when we just shot the videos and made the e-learning series. Well, that's just the video modules, right?
Right.
But it needs to be measured, like who watched it, when did they watch it, did they complete it, did they watch all of them? Like which ones did they finish?
Right.
And because that's important, especially for safety, if they may be compliant or if they're, allowed to be able to work on whatever equipment that they may be training or whatever the process is.
Right.
And that's important for like consistency, especially if you're rolling out to, say, a company, rolling out a consistent process. They say everyone has to watch this. Like if you've watched this and you're not able to do it, then that's a different problem. But if you're not doing the job and you didn't take any training, that's a different situation.
Right.
So they can be able to assess that to see who's taking the training and who should have some kind of subject matter, context of what they should be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So far we've talked about this is definitely good for health and wellness for sure. Safety, but it's kind of a super broad. It's any kind of thing where you need to learn. So for example, HR departments could use this immensely, like whether it's getting documentation to staff, or staff needs to all watch this in-service video, or staff needs to see this training, or whatever. You could run it all through this this learning and track that they've watched it, or give them a quiz, take a survey, watch a video, read an article. I mean,
well, and that's 100% correct, because a lot of companies have like these required like updates you should have to watch, because it's like in service or whatever. Like, this is what's happening in the company. This is what's going on, especially if you're in a place that has multiple sites that may not be all in the same building. How do you get the message out consistently? People are working around it. They're going, they'll put it like on their teams or something like that.
Right.
But you're not documenting. Like, you don't know who actually participated in it. So, I mean, there's other platforms out there like Zoom, but that's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same. And this allows you to kind of produce ahead of time and then distribute it out. And then that way you're able to kind of measure the impact of who watched it, who didn't watch it. And if it is a requirement, that's what the system allows you to do, is see who started it, who completed it, like when they completed it. You don't have to worry about, trying to figure out what that is. It's already tracked.
It's already in there. Just pull the data.
Right.
Which we love data. So that's always a good thing to do.
That's right. We love data.
Love data. So last let's talk about that. We talked about AI.
Yeah.
How could we integrate AI into this process? Is there a way in which you see it being beneficial to a learning module?
Well, it's interesting that you asked that question, because I am addicted with AI.
A little bit. So I had a hunch you might have a thought on it.
I'm pretty addicted.
One thought.
So now the way that we're looking at the landscape of information, before, like, we would just have, hey, here's all the insights, here's the data, who's watched it. Like, we can now bring AI to the scene and be able to ask it questions like, what is the most popular course? What is the average watch time on what days? What is, like, without having to develop all of the logic behind that. So if someone's trying to get a little bit of insight on even like how many times certain modules are being watched to see which ones are needed the most, they can just ask the question and just get that back.
Just get the answer.
And then on the other side of that too is, from some of the things that we're doing outside of just prompting and asking questions, is start looking at the predictive side and saying, where are the needs based on what it's reading, based on the patterns of what people are taking. So using that intelligence to automate and be able to make decisions. That's kind of the next wave of that. That's why I feel like AI is going that direction, beyond just asking questions, but be able to take action.
Right.
And understand, like, these are the predictive things we're going to do next, the next steps, right?
Right. Yeah, because depending on how you educate your team and what results you get back, you may see, like, especially if you have a quiz at the end of something and you see that everybody's failing this, 3 out of 5 of the questions or something.
That's an AI.
That's an AI thing. And then you can realize, this is not effective.
What's the pattern?
Why is this not effective? What do we need to do differently to make this sink in better? But AI can help you analyze that without filtering through all that data.
Not just like the absolute facts, but like, what are you seeing? What are the patterns here?
Right.
What would you recommend we do? Should we move a certain question before another, or should this be in a different category, or like, what is the best time we should position? Like, you can ask questions like that based on the data. Once you have the data, you can look at the patterns and be able to kind of make your programs better.
Yeah.
So I know we're talking about LMS, but that is about learning and growing.
Yes.
And that's what we have to adopt, is looking at those other technologies to help us grow faster beyond just watching a video.
Right.
It's more so watching a video, having the right information to be able to say, okay, this is the impact we're having through our organization or program, and be able to adapt.
Yeah. So I have to give a little shout out to our team here at ViviScape, because there's so many. Yes, we can obviously build the LMS software. We got that skill. AI, we got that. Portals, we got that. We got all that. But we can also, we make the videos.
Yeah.
We have survey modules. We can make workbooks.
Yeah, we're doing that too.
Flyers, things to go with it. Supplemental materials, anything you need to complete the information you need to share. we can help create that as well.
And the bonus part of that, we're doing it in other languages too.
Yes, we are. We
Not
can do
just
that
English,
as well.
right?
Yep.
So
Yes, it's a thing.
we're going end to end from the content to the experience of delivering distribution to the end user.
Right.
So that's what we do.
It's what we do.
Yep.
So there you have it. Learning modules in a nutshell.
Yeah.
If you need one, we got you.
Got you. See you on the next episode.